Rosy Hardy. This is Rosy Hardy Gardening. I've been asked by a few people, how do you treat your hydrangeas when you're pruning them to try and get them into shape to encourage more flower? So I thought I would just show you with one of the paniculata types. This is Hydrangea paniculata Kyushu. It's quite an old variety. Lovely big white flower heads on these. And as you can see with this plant, it has got wayward branches here. It's got dead flower head here, and then long stems and growth at the top. So that's not really a very good shape. What you really are aiming to get with your hydrangea is something that looks like this particular one here, which has been cut back and you can see multi-branched, and then will allow it to grow up and look really good. So how do you get yours to look like this? What you do is you have a look. What do you not need? What is growing in the wrong direction? And remember, you are always cutting back to nice buds like this, and you're cutting above them. Now, I would always err on the side of caution if you're not really happy with doing it. At the nursery here, we're pretty gung-ho and we will go back really quite hard, but that's because we know that the plant will come back through. And this particular one, which is slightly shorter and growing back, had unfortunately fallen over, therefore it had dried up and it wasn't looking very good. So what we did was cut it back as far as possible, stand it back up, and hey presto, it's looking fantastic, and that will make a stonking plant for people next year. With the ones which have gone up to flower like this, they've put their energy into trying to get into flower. So the first thing to do is get rid of dead flower head and always cut across the top of where there is a bud, so like here, and always do a slightly downward angled cut. That means that if rain gets on there, it trickles off rather than sitting in the top. There's another dead flower head up here, so let's just get that bit tidied up. That's absolutely fine, but we've not really done much other than make it look good. So we've got floppy bits down the side here. They're of absolutely no use. So you take back one as far as you can, you look for buds, and I would go as low as possible. So I would go to about there with that one, and that's angled, and you've got two nice buds at the side. You've got these whippy ones. They're not really doing an awful lot of good. So again, you would take those down to a pair of buds, and those to a pair, and those to a pair. There's some old sticks. Always get rid of old dead ends because that then tidies the plant up. This particular branch, well, it's growing this way. You want it to grow outwards, so go to an outward facing stem like that. This one in the middle here, we're going to go down again, and we're going to go down. Let's go to there, and that will give it a bit more. Then you've got these two big ones. Now, a lot of people hate this idea of actually cutting off flower when it's there, but you need to. So we're going to take that one off to that point. I might keep that to put in a vase. And then you've got this big long one here. That's ridiculous. So we're going to go down to these lovely two buds here, and we're going to go across the top of one, and you can see it's a nice angled cut there. And then you've ended up with these, so these can just be cut and taken back like so. And there you go. You have your much better framework of stems on this plant than you had before. And once all of these beautiful little shoots start, you will end up with a shrub that is this type of shape, and every single end on here should then have a flower. So you can imagine when this is covered in all of these beautiful flowers, it will look absolutely stunning. I hope this was useful. Please do subscribe to the channel.